Fight on, Ethan the Brave. Even better than Dawn Will Come. I would love to sing that song. Both Dawn Will Come and Fight on, Ethan the Brave. Some of you guys have actually found, one of my viewers actually found a video of me singing, because I do a lot of music theater, and they, they found a video of me singing, and I was like, ooh, you found that, ugh. Um, and I have been debating whether or not to actually post some of the stuff that I've done in the past with singing publicly, because I can be a little self-conscious about those kind of things. But if people really want, maybe I might be convinced to throwing up some things. But I would love to try my hand at least, you know, doing Dawn Will Come or what Talia just sang, although I'm sure she could sing circles around me. But anyway, um, this ending is so good. I agree with you, Tyranniac. And that's how you end a great episode. I agree, Rubber Duck. We sadly didn't know Gregor so well. I think he was a decent man. According to Roderick, he was. The royal wedding is coming up, I guess. Yeah, I suppose. That does sound like a dragon, Kiachira. I didn't realize dragons existed. I wasn't sure if dragons existed in the Game of Thrones universe. Considering Gregor Clegane, it's kind of funny how good of a man Gregor Forrester apparently was. Lady Esper, indeed that was fantastic, and I can honestly say I'm so glad I got to see this. Thank you so much, Angel Arts. I enjoyed the experience. Oh, well, thank you for joining us, Lady Esper. I'm glad. Darth Yoda, Marjorie the King Joffrey's wedding. The Iron Rubber Duck, Purple Wedding incoming. May 717, did you put Asher on the wall yet? I am going to. I will. I want to make sure I have to spend the time to look for a decent enough drawing. I'll fight the urge of posting yet another shirtless picture on my wall, although it's tempting to find a shirtless Asher picture. I'm trying not to be too like gratuitous with that kind of stuff on the wall because I feel like that would be a little too much, but we'll see. Um, let's see. Maybe we see that was a fantastic episode. Are they cruel or what? Another round of singing. Oh, this song again. Could be Shadowcat, maybe. Could be. Be right back, everyone. Dinner. I hope you enjoy your dinner, Accessin. Still lunchtime. Well, a little bit past lunchtime for me. Rest in peace, Ethan and Father. I don't remember his name. Yeah, a lot of tributes to Ethan. I don't trust Duncan either. Yeah, the song text changes depending on what. Oh, this is cool. I did not know this, Tyranniac. The song text changes depending on what Ethan did in episode 1. That's so cool. That is really neat that she would change the lyrics depending on what Ethan did. Wow. That is cool. All right. I'm looking forward to the next Borderlands episode. I am as well, and whenever they do it, I will try to record it and tell you when I'm gonna live stream it with you guys. Duncan and the Maester I find suspicious. All you have to do is offer up the Ironwood AA. Oh, I have to offer up the Ironwood. Yeah, I could have done that. Could have done that. That's all I had to do. Okay, well, I didn't do that. I was more of a romantic. I was trying to be more of a romantic. Trying to be, but that wasn't enough. Romance wasn't enough. I guess I wasn't trying to insult. Here's the way I was arguing it. I wasn't trying to insult our love. I guess I was trying to not insult our love by thinking that, you know, bribing her with Ironwood would be the way to, you know, go to the wedding. That's I guess what I was not. I just felt that would be insulting to her if I was trying to bribe her with Ironwood instead of just saying, well, we should get married because we love each other, not because, you know, you're not because your family is going to get this awesome Ironwood from me. It should be for the right reasons. And I mean, I guess he's already has an ulterior motive for marrying her. He already is kind of marrying her for it's convenient that he actually does or probably does love her. It's convenient that he probably does, but really, like, there is an ulterior motive there. That is, I'm trying to marry you because I'm trying to, you know, get an army for my family. So, yeah. Is there a wrong when I didn't give you a game over? Is there a wrong when I did give you a game over? I'm not sure. Because I refused to force a letter and I still got the marriage. I refused to force it and I still got the marriage. Gotcha. Okay. It is possible to make the marriage without the letter, but have to be practical, not romantic. Yep, yep, yep. I messed up the engagement too. Maybe 2 or 3 months for episode 3. The Game of Thrones have the next episode of Telltales from Borderlands first. That's true. I think that's how it's going to work. Sir Royland is not as wise as Duncan. I think he's more trustworthy. That's why I named him as my sentinel in my playthrough. Then and I wanted Ethan to have a bodyguard. True. Jovian, I played Roderick as more of a wise lord, raises the first heir and all. I reckon he knows when to put his foot down and when not to. Exactly what, Hark? This made it more real. Exactly that, Hark. This made it more real. Thank you, Winterhurst. Yes, I thought it was wonderful. It felt more real. Obviously intentional to give it realism. They wanted to move us. Exactly. Hi, is this done or is it just starting? We kind of just ended the episode, Iron Mia 78, but I'm going to stick around for Q&As if anybody wants to ask me anything before I leave and get ready for the ball. I have plenty of time, though. I'm probably going to be working on a few other episodes, probably starting to render the next episode of my Dragon Age tabletop campaign is probably what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day. We'll see. How many more episodes for Dragon Age Inquisition till the last main quest? Oh, I don't know. I don't know how many episodes entirely, because at this moment in the game, I am about to go through the Hissing Wastes and Empress de Leon. So I think what I'm doing is I'm doing Hissing Wastes, then Empress du Leon, and after I make my first passes of those 2 maps, then I'm going to move on and continue the main storyline. And then after the main storyline, I'm going to go to the... I actually accidentally jumped to the next main storyline quest, which it didn't take that long. So there's another quest that comes after the next main storyline that I end up accidentally doing, and I just went with it, and then it didn't take so long. And then after that, I think I was about to hit the point of no return. So before I went through the point of no return, I ended up going back and tying loose ends on all of the maps. I guess I go through all of the maps and tie up all the loose ends that I can, that I was willing to tie up, minus getting... I ended up not getting, like, all of the mosaic pieces, for example, but I tried to do all of the other side quests on all of the other maps, and then I killed all the dragons, and then after I killed all the dragons, then I beat the game. So I don't know how many episodes long that is, unfortunately. I'm assuming that it's probably going to take at least another month for me to reach the end. Meanwhile, I am halfway through my gay replay of Dragon Age Inquisition with Andy Kadash, my very adorable dwarven inquisitor, who, again, different world state, different personality from art. It's interesting. It's interesting to see the comparison between my Andy Kadash's Inquisitor journey versus Art's journey. And then, of course, same thing when I roll up my 3rd Inquisitor and do another replay specifically for the Inquisitor that's going to romance Cullen. Different world state, different personality, different decisions. So for those of you who are interested in seeing the differences. And again, these are just highlights. So I end up... the thing that I do with my replays is I'm only showing the all of the companion conversations, all of the cutscenes. If there is something that I played through blindly, for example, everything that happens when I side with the Templars instead of the mages, I show all of that because I'm experiencing it blind. But going through the maps, doing all of the side quests that I've already done, I don't show any of that stuff. The romance, obviously, I show. So I show the meat, I guess. I show all the meat, and everything else I just skip over and don't show it because you've already seen it with Art. I'm not going to show you stuff again that Art's already done. So you're an entertaining singer, Art. Thank you, Dusky One. You didn't know that dragons exist in Game of Thrones. I didn't know. I wasn't sure. They're kind of very important. Oh, well... Oh, that's right, they do exist. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, because of the Dragon Lady. I apologize. I apologize. Yes, I did know. I just forgot. I did know that dragons exist because of the whole Dragon Lady person, which was cool. She was cool. They do indeed exist. They're like 3 and they belong to Daenerys. Yeah, yeah. In Arc Suspense, he watched like 5 episodes. Yeah. And they did show that they existed in like the first episode, and I just forgot. You should add Roderick on the wall as well. I can't I'm running out of room in the wall. I'm running out. Well, I mean, I guess I could start replacing people. We'll see. We'll see. I'm trying to add. I'm trying to add one at a time. I already added two. I already added Jared and Ethan. So I'm trying to cut back on how many people I'm throwing up on the wall. And for Borderlands, I have Reese up there along with oh, his best friend's name. I can't remember his best friend's name. I'm sure you're gonna type it on the bottom, and I'm gonna feel stupid because I forgot because I love his character too. Um, but yes, spoiler for Haku may change his mind to watch or read it. It's not really a spoiler that there's dragons. Haku's already been spoiled by a lot of things, so someone went into more detail than saying there are dragons. Oh, okay. Did you check the codex again? I think it got updated with new text on the old characters. Oh, cool. I can go back to the codex. So I'll go back to the codex real quick. Actually, let me go do that real quick before I continue. Is there a... There it is, codex. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, there's probably... Unfortunately, Roderick was badly wounded the twins and has struggled to overcome his injuries. So there's little things that got updated. Yeah. I mean, I won't spend time to nitpick and guess where all the updates were, but I just wanted to see if there was a new entry entirely. I don't know if there's a... Oh, evil Maester Ortagrin. Evil. Malcolm Brandfield, Ironwrath. Okay. It very well could have been updated, but I don't want to spend the time right now to start reading what all the changes were. I'll throw Ethan up there because I love Ethan, and we're not going to see much of him after this episode, so I'll keep him up there on the screen. I see your point, Gal. People should know that coming in this episode, it takes place after all that, so okay. I think that the third book and back is fair game to be discussed, considering this game takes place at the end of Season 3, I believe, or near the end. I think that's true. If that's when it takes place. I just don't know for sure. It's because I don't know the material very well, so I don't know one way or another. Glad Hark likes it, though, despite not being a fan. Yeah, I genuinely like this a lot. I love this game a lot. This is my way of loving the Game of Thrones franchise, is through this game. And I'm okay with that being enough. That's enough for me. Hopefully it's enough for you guys that I can be a fan through this game. I'm so sad I haven't watched any of your Inquisition LP yet because I've yet to play it and I'm trying to keep myself in the dark. Good. Don't spoil yourself. If you don't want to watch my Let's Play because you want to experience it firsthand on your own, do that. Do not watch my videos. I will be the first to tell people, don't watch my videos if you want to experience it on your own yourself. I do not want you to if you know, this is me telling people not to watch my videos. Garden Wayne 82. Bye Hark, I was going out for tea now as it's 6:30 here in the UK. This episode was great. See ya, Gardner Wayne. Thank you for coming. How very English of you. Dusky One. Hark, who is part of your Dragon Age dream team? Mine is Shale, Varric, and Cole, but if we're talking in just Inquisition, I would say Iron Bull, Solus, and Cole. If we're talking about all the games altogether, I think I answered this question before. It would be Alistair, Cole, and Dorian. Those would be my dream team. Alistair, Cole, and Dorian. If it was just Inquisition, it would be Dorian, Cole, and I want to say Iron Bull. Dorian, Cole, and Iron Bull. It would be my dream team just purely from Inquisition. I'm assuming I can't choose Cullen, because if it was Cullen, it would be Dorian, Cole, and Cullen. But if he's not an option, then Iron Bull. Never get rid of Ian. Yes, I'm not. No, Ian is staying. Both Ian and Mark are staying up on my wall. I love those two so much. Love Ian. For those of you who, by the way, have watched my coming out on top Let's Play, if you didn't see it, Kathleenums, my friend, did a video where she was trying to read one of the sex scenes, the infamous sex scene that I blurred. I did all the blurs too, and some people got upset because I blurred it. Well, you can see the content in all its glory, essentially, through Kathleenums, because she reads it and tries to keep a straight face in a British accent. Because I challenged her to do that, and then somebody challenged me to react to it, react to her video blindly, which is what I did, and I just couldn't stop laughing. If you haven't seen that and you were fans of that about Let's Play, I recommend you take a look at it. Vaughn, maybe a piece of paper with half Roderick, half Asher. Ooh, that could actually work. Half Roderick, half Asher. I'll see what I can do. Vaughn, thank you. It was Vaughn. Thank you. Vaughn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Chris Hardwick. I love you, and I love Chris Hardwick and Vaughn. Sorry. My favorite character in this game used to be Ethan. Now it's Roderick. Roderick is cool, too. I still like Ethan more than Roderick, but Roderick is also cool. I mean, I like all the Foresters. All the Foresters are awesome. Asher, I think, is becoming my favorite. He's really pulling through for me as being my favorite. But I still, right now, Ethan's still my favorite. Currently, I think Ethan is still my favorite. Of the Foresters. I still love Garrett, though. It's the hair. The moment you pick a favorite is the moment someone is doomed. Yeah. No inner entry, but little updates. Oh no, AA, don't doom the good guys. Yeah. Jaime Lannister is my favorite book show character. Well, Tyrion is my fave, as far as I know. He's still alive. I'll kill him if he dies. Aww. Ethan is my favorite, and he's already dead, so I'm safe. That's true. Jaime is love. Jaime is life. Gallant Abriel. What is your second favorite character, Dusky One? Jaime is a hero. Roderick and Asher are my fave. My favorite character is Cersei. She's one of those characters that you kind of love to hate. Tyrion and Jaime in the show, and Ramsay, probably Varys. Ugh, Cersei. I love Lena Headey, but good Cersei. Bioware Lover subjects. Well, I gotta go. Thank you to answer my question. Same time. Goodbye, everyone. See ya, Bioware Lover. Gallant says, my second favorite is Theon. I believe he can redeem himself. Oh, sorry, there's all these names that are like, I don't really know who a lot of these people are. Or at least I don't think I know them. Harker, going to live stream Life is Strange. Because you didn't do it with the first episode. Are you going to live stream Life is Strange? No. So I'm being very picky about what I live stream and what I don't live stream. I don't want to live stream everything that I play. Life is Strange, I decided not to live stream because I felt like I would be overwhelmed too much since I'm already live streaming 2 games right now, 2 episodic series, Game of Thrones and Borderlands. And I feel that I don't want to put too much live streams on my plate, because there is something nice about being able to just focus on a game by myself and just experiencing the game on my own. This is fine. This format is fine. Game of Thrones and Borderlands is fine too, and a lot of the reason is because you guys are experts of the series. Many of you are experts of Borderlands and Game of Thrones, and I'm not. So I like to have you guys here just to help, you know, fill in the blanks for me of things that I need filled in. Whereas with a game like Life is Strange, it's completely new to pretty much everyone. So that is not as valuable to me in that sense of having a live stream. So that's why I decided to not live stream that one. Or it was not as important to me to live stream that one as it might have been for this game and for the other game. When we get to the Telltale Games Minecraft story mode, I probably will live stream again, because again, I'm not a Minecraft fan. I played it once and didn't really get into it, and I'm sure many of you are huge fans of it and can probably fill in some blanks for me for that. So most likely I will live stream that one. Yes, always. I love Ian so much. I love Ian. I still go back to that Let's Play every now and then to revisit my experience with Ian and Mark, because love that. One of my favorite. My Coming on Top LP was my personal favorite. One of my personal favorites. I shouldn't say my actual favorite. One of my personal favorite Let's Plays that I did in 2014. And it's interesting that it happened at the tail end of 2014. That video is amazing. Thank you, Accessin. Laughed so hard when you posted the reaction video. Thank you, Lady Esper. I watched it with my lesbian artist friend and we both died. Thank you, Kay. Thanks, bye. My favorite villain is Ramsay and Mance Rayder. Cersei is a very well-written character. I agree with that. She legitimately thinks she's right in being insane. Reading her chapters in the 4th book is really weird. She loves her kids so much she'd really do anything for them. Gallant. Well, it's been good. However, Dragon Age Inquisition is calling my name. Yeah, shoo. Go play your game. Go play Inquisition. DAY. Leave me. You don't need me to keep you from that. I need to finish my first playthrough. I had a fantastic time. I hope you and everyone else did too. See you, Gallant. Jovian, I have to go now, guys, but it's been great hanging out with you all. Thanks for doing the stream, AA. See you all next time. Thank you for coming, Jovian. Oh, my 4th playthrough of DIM, but not playing it today. Okay, cool. So at this point, it's a free-for-all. I've already given we've already talked about stuff with this game and some of our favorite heroes and villains. So if there's anything else that you want to talk to me about, either discuss or ask. I am here for, I guess, however long you guys want to continue asking me things and talking to me. This is a way for me to hang out with you. So pretty much whatever you want to ask me or talk about, go right ahead. I will wait a few minutes while this chat catches up to see if anyone has anything to say. And whenever we run out of material, run out of things to say, then I will end the live stream. So if you want me to stick around, you better come up with something to talk about. Otherwise, I'm hitting the road. But I'm not in any hurry. So the ball is not for a while, guys. So don't feel like you're keeping me, because I want to hang out with you guys. So if there's something you genuinely want me to discuss, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's hang out. Hark, is Jade Empire worth to play? It feels like a dated game. What I'm gonna say is I enjoyed playing it compared to some of the other BioWare games now, like with Dragon Age Inquisition and Mass Effect. It feels dated, but I liked the story a lot. If you're a hardcore BioWare fan, or if you think that setting would interest you, it's a really unique setting because it's taking place in, it's an Asian themed setting, very heavy on martial arts, emphasis on the martial arts. It's very different from Mass Effect and the Dragon Age because it's a totally different genre altogether. It definitely had some good moments. Obviously, because it's an older game, you're not going to have things like very detailed romances. The romances are there, but they certainly don't hold a candle to the ones you're used to in Dragon Age and Inquisition. You have a silent protagonist, so if that bothers you, the other NPCs talk, but your character does not talk. So some people that might not be as fun of an experience for them. The fighting system to me took some getting used to. I don't think I ever mastered the gameplay, like the combat system, very well, and it frustrated me at times, but I still got through it. Sometimes it meant me possibly, I think I might have lowered the difficulty at some point because I was just not getting it very well. So that might frustrate people because it is a more active, in my opinion, I think you have to be more savvy with your controller or your keyboard. I'm assuming it might be easier. It feels like it's a game that's easier to control with a controller, with a video game controller or console controller, as opposed to a mouse and keyboard. But I recommend that if you don't want to take a risk, watch, I guess, the first few episodes of my Let's Play first, and if you're kind of feeling it, sure. If you're not feeling it, then don't feel like you need to waste your money on it. But I'm glad I played it. It's a good story, and I want there to be a sequel. I generally want them to make a sequel and see what they would do with given all of the experience that they've had with Mass Effect and Dragon Age. I'd love to see a current Jade Empire game, because I really like the universe a lot. It's a really neat universe. The other thing I will mention about Jade Empire game is it's not as heavy on choices and decision, and it's not as heavy on there being consequences to whatever few choices you're given or decisions. So anyway, hopefully that answered your question. I tried to give you as much detail as I honestly could without giving you a completely biased opinion on the game. Lady Esper, alright, I gotta go, Angel Arts. Thank you again for the stream. You're amazing. I appreciate everything you've done. Okay, thank you, Lady Esper, for coming. Dusky One, Hark, do you think a Telltale Dragon Age could work? Oh, I hope they make one to fill the gap between Dragon Age games. Interesting. I'm sure they'll do it. I'm sure they could do it. Um, I guess if it were up to me, if I were to pick Dragon Age game, if I were to pick the next Telltale games, I think that more so than Dragon Age, because I already get a good story with Dragon Age in my opinion, um, and it's a video game. I would probably pick something that wasn't as story driven, um, like for example, Borderlands. I mean, Borderlands has a story in it. I shouldn't say that, but it's not as deep in story as say some of the other games, like Tales of Borderlands is doing. But you know, Minecraft doesn't really have a story. You know, I'd rather that they focus more on video games that already didn't have a deep enough story, just to show that they could make a story out of it. But if I were to pick a franchise that Telltale would do a story on next, I would love for them to do Doctor Who. They need to do a Doctor Who Telltale games. That would be amazing. It doesn't even necessarily have to be Peter. I've started watching a little bit of Peter Capaldi. I'm not knocking Peter Capaldi. I've only seen the first episode, but I know a lot of people love David Tennant's Doctor Who a lot. I think there's a huge following. It would be so cool to do a David Tennant Doctor Who and actually have David Tennant voice Doctor Who for Telltale. I bet you he would do it. I bet you David Tennant would be all over that. And I would be. My TARDIS is up on my shelf right now. I have my TARDIS that my brother gave me for Christmas this year, so that I can get behind. If that would be my dream for right now, my dream game from Telltale would be a Doctor Who Telltale game. Never mind, nothing interesting going on. I'm back. Hi BioWare. I'm just chatting with people, hanging out. I liked it, but I doubt it's a game I could do multiple playthroughs of. I agree with Excessin. Winterhearts, Hark, what do you think about a Let's Play for Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment? That is a game that I've been eyeing. I wrote it to you on Facebook, I remember already, and you seemed interested. Would be cool if you do. Yes, 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 yes. I believe I wrote that down on my list. I just haven't been able to get around to it because I wanted to do... I ended up being more interested in trying out Life is Strange first. I also wanted to start watching the TV show as well, the Sherlock... Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. Didn't want to sneeze into your face, because that would just be rude. Sherlock, the UK version of Sherlock, I definitely wanted to start watching. I actually just watched. I actually went to the theater last week to watch a comedy performance of Sherlock and the Baskerville Hounds, which is very cool. The guy who played Dr. Watson was really hot. Take a drink. Sherlock wasn't bad either. But anyway, what was I talking about? Lost train of thought. Sherlock, thank you. Yes, I do. I am very interested in Let's Playing Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. I want to do that one. I think, though, that there's something on my list. I bought the game for Steam last year. I never touched it, and I want to play it. But who knows? If you guys would rather I played Sherlock instead, it's between Sherlock for my next Let's Play and Dust, A Tale of Dust, an Elysian Tale. I think that's what it was. I have Dust and Elysian Tale. It's a little different from what I normally play, which is why I thought I would play it just for a variety's sake. But if people feel that they would rather I played Sherlock Holmes next, it's between those two games right now as what I'm going to be playing after Life is Strange and what, you know, in the middle of me doing my Inquisition replays and stuff. Let me think about that. Okay, thanks, bye. I'm mostly interested in lurking through this Q&A, but if I think of anything, I'll throw out a question. No problem. Lurking is fine. Dusky One, Hark, do you think a Dragon Age expansion similar to Mass Effect 2 Suicide Mission might happen? Well, so I guess what you're asking me, Dusky One, is if there was a Dragon Age DLC that included a mission that was similar to the Suicide Mission in Mass Effect 2. That sounds like a huge expansion if they're going to do... Because, I mean, the Suicide Mission in Mass Effect 2 was pretty darn huge. So, I wouldn't say no to it. Do I think it might happen? I'm not sure. What I really would love to see happen, and I don't think this idea didn't originate from me. I thought somebody else mentioned this, is first of all, I'm pretty sure they kind of have to make a DLC for Inquisition at some like for something. What I would love to see an Inquisition DLC for is um, they glazed over it on the war table, but it would be cool if we were able to somehow, if the Inquisition became involved in the war at Kirkwall, because stuff is going on with Sebastian, and stuff is, he's attacking. So apologize if there's spoilers, but it's already in my Let's Play, so you can try to skip over the next like couple of minutes if you don't want to be spoiled by this. But Sebastian has essentially declared war on Kirkwall. Aveline is trying to defend Kirkwall. If Anders is still alive, I guess they're trying to protect Anders as well, because I guess Anders is also in Kirkwall, maybe. Anyway, I thought a lot of people were saying it would have been cool if we were able to actually go to Kirkwall and like deal with that mess directly as Inquisitor, and then maybe gain some power, allies, agents, whatever have you in Kirkwall. And that would be a great way to bring back the cast of Dragon Age 2, bring back Fenris, bring back Meryl, bring back Aveline, all of those people. I think that would be awesome to sort of, for the player, not necessarily Inquisitor, but for the player to reunite with the Dragon Age 2 character. Donic, of course, would be there too if you had, that would be neat. I would love for the DLC to be about the war at Kirkwall, so that it's not just a blurb on the war table that you just send agents to deal with. It would be great if we had the option to have us have and then determine whether or not, I guess, you decide to help Aveline defend Kirkwall, or help Sebastian conquer Kirkwall. And then maybe you'd get an ally through Sebastian in Starkhaven versus gaining, I guess, an ally in Aveline and whoever else is in Kirkwall. I don't know. I think that would be really cool. Thoughts on Skyrim, and because you seem so confused by my username, Sovngarde is Valhalla. Sovngarde is a realm from Skyrim, and Valhalla is the equivalent from Norse mythology. Right. Valhalla I was familiar with. Thoughts on Skyrim. So I've given my thoughts on Skyrim before. I actually was not a big fan of Skyrim, and I know there's a lot of Skyrim fans out there. It just didn't hold my interest. I played the game for about a week. It was fun during that week, but I ended up getting tired of it and just wanted to get through the main storyline and beat the main storyline. And as soon as I beat the main storyline, I didn't touch the game again because I didn't feel the motivation to touch the game again. It's not the type of RPG that I enjoy because you don't have. I've realized that because I'm a very social person, I need a party that I actually develop a relationship with, companions that I develop friendships with, or even a romance with. I don't like the RPGs as much where you're a lone wolf. Deus Ex Human Revolution is a good example. It was a fun game, but I started getting tired of it near the end. It just wasn't interested in me. But I was so close to beating the game. I hate to say it, but I pushed through it. I pushed through it just to beat the game. But it's a game that I never really touched again because it was. I can definitely see the appeal, but I just got bored because I need that party. I need a party, and the helicopter, the talks, the conversations every now and then with the helicopter pilot and Professor Snape, is what I call him, the other guy, the other dude, wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for me. So that's why I like games like Mass Effect, and I like games like Dragon Age Inquisition, because you have that interpersonal aspect, which I greatly need. And Skyrim, you can have a follower, but it's just a very shallow. You can have a follower, and you can even marry people, but it's very shallow compared to massive BioWare games, and even in Telltales, like The Walking Dead, you kind of have a party. Like season 1, you had a group, you had companions, you had people that you could develop relationships with. And I guess I've learned that that is one of the key factors for me to be interested and engaged and invested in a RPG game. That's one of the reasons why I am shying away right now from the Witcher series, because I think the Witcher is similar in that you're more of a lone wolf than anything else. I'm sure that you have followers in the Witcher, but I don't think it's I don't think it's a whole group, a whole camp of followers. You know, I don't think there's enough followers, let me just put it that way, that would keep me interested. And I don't know, a lot of people are saying, are you going to love Witcher? You're going to love Witcher. Maybe, but I actually, because of the reasons that I just said, historically, on paper, historically, I don't think I'm going to enjoy The Witcher nearly as much as some of you may think I'm going to enjoy it. I could be wrong. We'll see. Um, ooh, do that, Hark. Do the LP Sherlock stuff. Okay. Okay. But don't watch the trailer. It spoils the first case. Good to know. I haven't watched anything about it, so... Yeah, I hate when trailers do that stuff, too. Ooh, a Doctor Who Telltale. That sounds very interesting. Oh, I would love that. Breaking Bad Telltale. Okay, Breaking Bad. You guys are going to start throwing tomatoes at me. Breaking Bad, that's another show I never got into either. And to be fair, I only saw the first episode, and my fiance is upset because that's like one of his favorite series of all time. He loves Breaking Bad, which also makes it very easy for me to buy him birthday presents and Christmas gifts because I've been getting him a lot of Breaking Bad merchandise. I think the first present I gave him was the fast food, the chicken, I think fried chicken fast food restaurant. I got him a shirt of the fast food restaurant plus raspberry raw candy, which looks like blue crystal meth, basically. I got him that for one of his birthdays. And then for Christmas, I actually got him a autographed script. I got it off of eBay. A script of one of the, I don't think it was the pilot, but it was one of the more important episodes of Breaking Bad that was signed by all of the cast members, the main cast members of the show, which he absolutely loved too. So I'm glad that people like Breaking Bad, but maybe a Telltale game of Breaking Bad, just like Game of Thrones and just like Borderlands, would be enough for me to appreciate the series in that way. I would play it. I would play a Breaking Bad Telltale's game if Telltale, excuse me, makes one. I will play it. Have you ever played The Longest Journey and or Dreamfall? Sorry, excuse me. I think they would fit the type of games you play if you haven't. I have not played The Longest Journey, I don't think. And I don't think I've heard of Dreamfall. I'll have to look into those, Miss Diani. Sylvan Garden is Valhalla. Yes, David Tennant is 10. Love Tennant. Yeah, invincible main character. That doesn't mean that that other people around me can't die. I mean, part of the problem, part of the turmoil about the Doctor is that he loses a lot of people along the way. So I think that's fine. Telltale Mass Effect, perhaps? Maybe. Again, Mass Effect already has a great story. So I kind of feel like Telltale should focus more on mediums, video game. If they're going to do one based off a video game, they should do it on a video game that doesn't already have a deep story. And yes, to a Doctor Who Telltale game. Would love a Supernatural Telltale game. I would love a Supernatural Telltale game, but you guys will be drinking up a storm, though. You guys would get so much poisoning if you were to watch me do a Telltale game on Supernatural and play the Angel Arts drinking game, because I would just be drooling over both of the brothers completely. I have a personal soft spot to Jensen Ackles, personally, the blonde one. Yeah, I've been eyeing even before he was in that show, like, because was it Young and the Restless? He did one of the soap star. He was a soap star in one of the soap operas, and that's how I first saw him. And then when I saw that he was doing Supernatural, I was like, maybe I should start watching that show for the plot. Anyway, basically Telltale should do everything. Essentially, yes. Take my money now. There are rumors that Telltale's making Star Wars. Oh, I would be all over that. Star Wars Telltale game. They should do everything. Star Wars, Harry Potter, Pokemon. I don't care. Telltale, whatever you make, I'm pretty much gonna buy. Whatever. BioWare as well. No, BioWare Level 76. On the other hand, Supernatural is already heartbreaking, though. Heartbreaking enough. Yeah. Oh, Dust is a great game. Dust is also great. A bit of a dated game. I've always wanted a sequel. Telltale Games are making an original IP. That's cool. That is cool. Or remake it to his A Legend of Dragoon. Oh, that reminds me, at Celine Party there was a Krogan head. Yes, yes, I did notice that after the fact. Thank you for pointing it out, and I did notice that. Very cool Easter egg. I just want a storage chest for Inquisition because I'm an item collector person. Yes, if they make a DLC and all it is it gives you a storage chest, I would buy the DLC as long as it was like $2 or something. I would buy that. Or a bisexual Cullen and Solus DLC. Oh, yes. Yes. Tons. I would throw my checkbook at the thing. Throw my checkbook at the thing for a bisexual Cullen and Solus DLC. And I know some people are trying to make a equal love mod for Dragon Age Inquisition. I don't know how successful people are getting with that. I don't know. We'll see. There was also an ogre statue in Kasuma's ultimate mission. Yeah, yeah. Bioware has been dropping those kind of references a lot, which I think is very cool. And also, they've actually been dropping a lot of Easter eggs for other games too, including Knights of the Old Republic. There was some Easter eggs about KOTOR in Inquisition. There was also some Easter eggs about Jade Empire in Inquisition as well. There's a bunch that they've been throwing in. If you're curious what those are, I think I saw it on a wiki page somewhere. What all of the Easter eggs were, and all of the references. The things that Cole says, the random things that Cole says when you talk to him, they're all spoilers to movies and books and other things like that. So if you didn't catch any of that, I think there's, again, on the same wiki that I was looking, it showed all of the references that Cole was making, all the spoilers that he was spoiling when you talk to him. Excessin, I better go. I'm supposed to take care of my baby cousin in about half an hour. Bye, chat. Bye, Hark. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome, Excessin. I think Bioware is distancing themselves from Dragon Age 2, so the DLC probably wouldn't happen. Could very well be the case. That's why I hated about Skyrim, the lack of interaction, but the Inigo and Vija mods help a lot. Not a fan of Skyrim. Really, Hark, you hurt my feelings. I know, I'm sorry. I seem to have a very specific taste when it comes to games. I guess I can't really call myself a hardcore RP gamer, I guess, because there's only certain RP games that at least holds my attention. Holds my attention, at least. And thank goodness, too, because I fortunately don't have enough time, I guess, to play every single RPG in the sun. I just don't have... I work, and I have other things going on in my social life, and I wish I had the time to do everything that I wanted during the day, but, you know, life and responsibility and all that stuff. I'm a complete introvert, but I highly prefer Dragon Age to Skyrim. You have companions in Skyrim, but it's difficult to keep them alive. Yeah. He means interesting and detailed companions who you care about. I mean, that's pretty much is a good way to put it. Skyrim is a different type of game. Maybe Angel Arts could try out and piece together the lore of Dark Souls. Oh, I've heard of Dark Souls. What do you think about the whole EA thinks that games are too hard to learn thing that was recently going on? This I actually didn't know about. EA thinks that games are too hard to learn. I think it's greatly discouraging for the future. I don't want a casual age. I don't know. And I hope that's EA and not like necessarily the game publishers. Or not necessarily the game developers. Games are too hard to learn. I mean, you kind of... It's been an ongoing trend. If you look at the... For example, if you go back to the Nintendo games are hard. Because many games, they don't have a save. You know, you have only X number of lives. Maybe you might be able to gain extra life other ways. But if you lose all your lives, normally you go back to the beginning. You go back to the beginning of the game, you start all over. There are a lot of Nintendo games that I never beat because they were just too hard, unless if I used like Game Genie or something. The mods of the 80s, the modding system of the 80s, Game Genie that it was. You know, some games started having a save feature, and some games started having like the password feature where you can continue. But you know, there were no auto saves. So like if you died, then you had to go all the way back to wherever it is you last save, and sometimes that might be like a half an hour that you have to redo, not seconds later, like not like 15 seconds, it had auto saved. So um, I mean, games have been become dumbed down over the years, I guess, out of the necessity of they wanted video games to be more accessible to people. Because when I was a little kid, it would be unusual for people my age now. It would be unusual for grown-ups to be interested in video games. Maybe there would be a few, but for the most part, video games were things that kids and teenagers did. And then the video game industry has grown since then, and a lot of games have become a lot more accessible to to the community, which for the video game industry I think is a good thing because you want people to be interested in those video games, and whether it's a heavy RPG like this or if it's an app on your phone like like Angry Birds or Plants vs Zombies or Words with Friends or Candy Crush on Facebook or whatever. People of all ages, video games has been more of a universal thing, and I think a lot of it is because they have made some of the games more accessible to people, and normally that means they've made games easier. I think that a lot of people, if there was no save system, if there was no autosave, far less people would be into video games now. Far less would be playing video games than people are right now if they weren't some form of being dumbed down from its predecessors. So I guess you could argue that there is an extreme, like games are being too dumbed down. But I like to believe that there will always be games, I'd like to believe, that caters to more of the hardcore people, and there's going to be games that cater to the more casual gamers. I think in order for the video game industry to survive, there's always going to be different people who want different things. That's why you have people like me who don't like the Skyrims of the video game industry, whereas like so many people are in love with it, and vice versa. I think that as long as different people are looking for different things, there will be video games made to cater for that audience. Just like me as a YouTuber, I don't cater to everybody at all. I'm very much aware that I sort of cater to a very niche group, and it's fine. I cater to a certain audience, and I'm happy with catering to the audience that is, that I cater to just by being who I am and showing the material that I enjoy showing and playing the games that I enjoy playing, not what everybody else thinks that I should be playing because it's going to grab me a whole bunch of subscribers because or views because that's apparently the thing to play right now. I don't like scary games. That's why I'm not playing games like Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm fine watching other people play Five Nights at Freddy's. I just wouldn't really have any interest playing it myself. But more power to the people who do play it because I'm sure they get a lot of views and they get a lot of subs from it because it's a very popular game to play. But that's not how I choose what to play on my channel. Telltale Torchwood would be better. I can see Telltale Torchwood. Bring back, Captain Jack Harkness. That would be Harkness. Oh, John Barrowman, how I love thee. I personally don't like the term casual because unless you're making money in competitions, everyone's playing casually. But I agree that there needs to be a certain degree of difficulty to keep me interested when story isn't going on. Yeah, that's a good way to sum it up. Telling about what happens after Harry's fight against Voldemort in the Next Generation. That would be cool. Actually, that would be a really interesting Telltale game is in the Harry Potter universe, or even this is actually more of what I would love Rowling to do as a book series next. I would love for J.K. Rowling, to write another series that goes through the time when James and Lily were students at Hogwarts. Go through James and Lily's time through Hogwarts, starting from their first year. So she could write a whole 7 books with James and Lily as they went through. Then you'd get more insight on the Marauders and more insight on Snape growing up and all that good stuff. I would, because she said that she didn't want to write any more books for Harry Potter, at least for the character Harry Potter. But I don't think that means that she should stop writing for that universe, and that could very well be a prequel, a pre-series where she's writing about James and Lily's 7 years at Hogwarts. I think that would be amazing. Yeah, Harry Potter Telltale. If there was a bisexual DLC, Cassandra needs to be in it. I'm not gonna argue with that. Sure. Spread the love. Cullen was originally intended to be a bisexual option in Inquisition, and I just think it makes sense for Solus to be bisexual. Sure. You know that there are many lesbians out there that would draw blood to romance Cassandra with a female Inquisitor. I like Cassandra a lot. I definitely see the appeal. Wholeheartedly. I would love a Telltale Games of the Dresden Files. Oh, love those novels. Or Percy Jackson and the Olympians, but that's my inner book nerd talking. EA wants making more money, and this isn't very good for us core gamers. The dumbing down is a sad fact. Game difficulty come in different forms. I was hoping Blackwall would be the homosexual male option. Dorian is a bit of a stereotype in my opinion. I can see that. I can see that Dorian's playing to the stereotype a bit at times. Ooh, Telltale Dresden Files would be a real treat for me, for sure. There's so much to draw on as well. One thing that was sad about Dragon Age Inquisition, in my opinion, is the fact that you're punished for exploring, which is completely opposite what you expect from the type of game. I think I can see what you're saying with that. I'm concerned because if the next Dragon Age game will be dumbed down too much. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping not. EA should just do the smart thing and throw money at BioWare and let them do their own thing. Thank you. Thank you, K-Thanks Spy. That'd be the best way for them to make money, honestly. I agree. I agree. When I say punish for exploring, I mean the game at times becomes too easy. A lot of people would say the game is too easy on higher difficulties. I can see that. Fortunately, I'm not that decent of a player that it got too easy for me. I will admit that half of the dragons I felt were too easy for me at the end. But there was still a couple of dragons that definitely gave me a run for my money. Still gave me a run for my money. Would love a Telltale HP Marauders era game. Nice. Okay. So I think I've neared the end of this, so I'll wait a few more seconds to see if anyone has any last minute things that they want me to talk about or chat about. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap things up and call it a day. So, waiting. Okay. I think if somebody pops in, I'll give a sign out, and then if somebody gives a last minute question that I really want to, or topic I really want to talk about, then I'll talk about it. But thank you guys for joining me. I will definitely keep you posted when the next episode of either Borderlands or Game of Thrones is posted, and I will be sure to make sure you guys know ahead of time when the next live stream is going to be. So I thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, I guess I will say farewell to the following people. Forgot how to see who are all the people that are in the chats. There we are. The viewers. Yes, you can't see all of them, unfortunately, but I will read them out loud. So to the Iron Rubber Duck, K-Thanks by Winterhertz, OMFG, Pala, Sovngarde is Valhalla, Dusky1, Jovian09, Mistiani, Bioware Lover 76, Kingless, King, Kiachira, sorry about that. Thank you for hanging out with me until the very end. Had a great time hanging out with you guys. We will do this again. And until next time, love yourselves, love each other. Bye!